Hello, welcome back to this channel or welcome to this channel. My name is Jackie and I'm obsessed with planners and journals. Today I have a very simple, very relaxed, very informal, very casual and very chatty video for you. And I know that probably describes all of my videos, but anyhow, today I will be talking about my journal, my creative journal situation, what I've been using, what has changed. I will also touch a little bit about my work planner situation because there were some changes, small, really tiny changes done there, but I just want to mention that because everything is related. And also talk to you about needing to start over, needing a fresh start. So if you wanna see that, just keep watching. Okay, so basically recently with all the lockdown situation and all that's been going on in the world, I've been feeling the need to start over basically all of my planners and journals. I'm even moving to a more paperless setup for especially my planning needs because I just felt that I needed that, and maybe I will do a separate video talking about that because I know the public is completely different. I mean, it's something completely different from everything I've done so far, but I'm not using like any like planner apps or things like that you are just like creating the same thing that you will do with paper on an iPad. That's not what I'm talking about, but that's not, I'm already diverging, like it's the beginning of the video and I'm already talking about other things, so focus, Jackie. So basically I've been rethinking a lot of things. I guess that's why I was talking about all of that, but I've been struggling especially with my creative journaling, with my art journals and all of that, because I've been finding really hard to be creative. Like during these past few months, I just could not just sit down and relax and do creative stuff for a couple of reasons. One of them is that sometimes I feel just guilty, and this guilty has like multiple variants. I feel guilty because I'm having a good time when all with everything that's going on in the world, or I felt guilty because I was just relaxing and having me time and not working or being productive and things like that. So I guess guilty defines a lot. And also I was just not in the mood. I could not sit down and create and feel any pleasure with creating and journaling. But now I'm finally getting back to my journal game and I've been loving it again, and it's been helping me a lot to deal with everything that's going on and with anxiety, and it is even helping me to focus more on work, because if I'm being creative here with like my beautiful journals, I tend to be more creative like in my work, so I want to sit down and write more. So that's been like just a win situation. But for that to happen, like for me to go back to my journals, I just had to basically change my setup, and not only one time, but like a couple of times. And I think with the whole situation is just like I've been more inconsistent with my journaling, especially with my journaling, because my work planner is pretty much like consistent, but even my work planner like passed through a change, and I should show you that. So basically I've been using my Hobonichi cousin in the Avec version for work since last year, and it was working like perfectly for me and I was loving it, but then with all of the changes and a lot of things got just like canceled because of course, the pandemic, understandably. And it was just making me very sad to look at all those canceled plans. Like everything was crossed. I had a trip to Brazil that just got postponed indefinitely, and that was just making me not want to open my planner to see everything crossed down. So I had another Hobonichi cousin laying around at home because that was going to be my fiance's planner, but then he preferred the A6 Hobonichi, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to change and start all over my work planner. So I started my work planner in this cousin, which is like the full year, and I guess I already talked a little bit about that, but basically I just like rewrote everything that was in this planner, and that happened like in the beginning of March, just like right before lockdown started, like for real here in Portugal, but everything was already canceled. So I just started over and I've been loving it, and I was thinking, okay, but when July arrives, I will switch back to the second half of my cousin Avec. However, okay, so now going to the journal part. Okay, so that's the situation with my work planner. I'm still using the Hobonichi cousin. I just switched it to the full year because I just needed to start again. So going back, or actually going to the journal situation. So I started the year with this little guy, which is the Hobonichi original, the full year, in the A6 size. And do you remember, I was just like Project Fat Hobo 2020. I was super excited about this planner. I started using it back on November last year, and I will link all the videos like related to this whole situation like down in the description box. But I was just super excited and I started using it. But then I decided to try the cousin size, and it was like the beginning of January. And that's when this beautiful cousin arrived in my life, and I was hooked. Like I just could not let go of having like all this space to write down and to create and to do collages and things like that. I was just obsessed with the Hobonichi cousin, and I still am, to be honest, but I was just missing my A6 a little bit. The A6 was my first Hobonichi love, and yeah. And I was not using the cousin a lot. Basically, for the same reason, I decided to move from like one work planner to the other one. Like the lockdown days were just being, I don't know, I just could not use them. Everything was just blank. I could not find like the willpower to go back and fill those pages or like do something or just leave them there and come back, because to be honest, the blank page does not really bother me because I always tell this, but the blank pages tell a story, like they really tell a story, so I guess that's okay. But I don't know, I tried to get back to it, but I was just not feeling the style of like putting out these collages, and the pages were not looking good, and I was just, okay, I think I need a fresh start. So I went online and I bought another Hobonichi A6, like the spring version, but then before the order got shipped, I was just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Like I have an A6 here that went through a lot. It has like a beautiful history. It started back on November, and it also went to Disneyland Paris, which I think it's just something I cannot let go of. So I thought, instead of buying a new one, I would just, and I had stopped using this back in January when the cousin arrived. But I thought, instead of buying a new one, I would just like cancel that purchase, and I will just go back here and fill out like the pages that I can fill out, try to like, I don't know, like create something, things like this. So this spread was like washi tapes and then curtain ideas. I have a lot of curtain ideas collages. I'm still just obsessed with them. And I started like writing more and enjoying more, and I just love, I mean, the cousin gets beautiful when it gets chunky. But I mean, the chunkiness, realness is all about the Hobonichi A6, and that's what I want. Like, I cannot think about Tomo River paper. I'm not one of those people that just want it to like not get chunky. I want it to get like all chunky, and I want to like be struggling to journal. I'm loving it. I'm completely like, I just renewed my love with the Hobonichi A6, which was my first love, and I guess will be like, I will love it forever. And I love how chunky it is getting. I love that it will get even chunkier, and I just love it. Like, I cannot let go of it. I'm loving journaling here. It's bringing me so much joy. It's helping me a lot to deal with everything. So then I realized that at first, when I decided to get the Hobonichi cousin, I have some other purposes for that Hobonichi. So this one would be like it would be creative, but it will be more a journal where I just attach things that are related to that day. It will be a real like journal, or diary maybe. So I would like really attach things related to those days, but I wouldn't have a lot of time to write. So it's a different type of diary, like not a diary that I would be writing a lot, but it will be a place for me to just add all these like memorabilia or these ephemera or things related to specific days. Sometimes do a little bit of watercolor, but it would not be a place for me like to be trying to paint a lot or write a lot, because there's just no space, and because I really wanted this Hobonichi to be fat. So I knew it would be hard to try to do like a very elaborated paint or something. And my idea with the Hobonichi cousin was that it will be that place that I would just like try to paint more, or like draw or doodle and do a little something every single day, and also write more, because writing can help you, like it really helps you to just deal with things. And for me especially, I've done that my whole life. I realized I was not doing that. What I was doing is I was doing what was intended for me to do with my A6. I was just transferring that for my cousin, and that's why I stopped using my Hobonichi A6 altogether, because there was no purpose. They were competing with each other. That was not making sense. So I just stopped using it. And now that I went back and it is getting chunky, and I'm trying to catch up, not like going back. Sometimes I will go back here and mark down like important dates or days that were very special that I want to have in here as well. But I'm basically just like adding pieces of papers, doing some collages, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm enjoying it. And I basically rediscovered that the reason I stopped using this is because I was not doing what I was supposed to do. I was just doing what I was supposed to do here and not in my cousin. Oh my God, that's confusing. Anyhow, the question is, I like how the cousin feels. Maybe next year I will move on, like fully move on to a cousin. I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm saying that. I will never let go of my A6, I think. But I just don't want to do the same thing. But I want to do something more like a little draw with watercolor and then write. So it won't get chunky or fat as my Hobonichi A6, but of course it will get a little bit, because I will still add some stickers here and there and some pieces of papers. It will just have more space for me to write. So maybe it will be more artistic, in the sense that I will be like drawing and painting, but it will also be way more personal basically than the Hobonichi A6. So I'm not sure how that will work if I want to share my pages, but if I'm proud of them, I will show them, and And when I say I'm proud, I don't mean I think they are great. It's just that I'm proud of the work I've done, and even if they are not great, because I'm not a professional artist and I don't know how to draw or paint, but that will never stop me. And that will never stop me from sharing as well, because they just make me happy. Okay, so now I'm getting to the point of the video. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I decided to start over, and that's where you see how the video made sense, even though I talked a lot about so many different things. But I decided, since my full cousin as a work planner is working just fine for me, and I don't see in the near future that I will be having to take a lot of public transportation to go to different meetings. I think I will work way less from outside my home and more at home. So I don't mind having a heavier work planner. So I thought I could just stay with the full year. And then I could use the second half of my avec cousin that was my work planner to start all over again and have my fresh start that I've been longing for. So that's what I'm going to do. I will just grab that second half that I had already started setting up as a work planner. Let me take all of these things out because they are for another video. So I had already started setting up as a work planner. So you can see here I had added the Hobonichi tabs because that just makes my life easier when I'm using it as a work planner. And I had already marked down a couple of deadlines in the monthly views. I think I have something in both on June and July, and I had like a little sticker, so it's even sticky as you can see, but I just wrote with pencil, so I can easily, like, I just took off the little stickers which were just for my color coding, and I can just erase these, and that's what I'll be doing now. Not now, but when I do the setup. And I'll be maybe cutting off the tabs because I know I won't do a very good job if I try to take them off. I'm not sure, but I don't really need them for my my journal, so I'll take them off. And I have a brand new planner that I can do my fresh start without having to waste more money or more planners and anything like that. So that's what I'll be doing, and this will be different from what I was doing in my Hobonichi cousin. I still want to share with you and maybe share even more because I know I haven't shared a lot, and that's because I was just not feeling it, and I didn't want to come here and say, look, I'm loving these pages and journal with me if I just lost it. Like, I could have done that like in January and February and March, maybe, when I was just obsessed with this style in the Hobonichi cousin, but not anymore. And I just couldn't. So I'm really honestly excited about starting this new Hobonichi cousin as a journal. I'm even excited for the weekly spreads that I intend to do, and I'm also excited to film more about it. So hopefully you want to see that. And as you can see, I'm just feeling happier, like truly. I also received some great news today, but I'm just feeling happier, and I'm filled with hope, I think. And that's something that a new journal and that feeling of starting over can bring you. It just brought me perspective, and I'm more optimistic about our future and about what's going on. I am completely aware that things are still difficult, especially in Brazil, my home country. Things are just it's super sad, and I'm thinking about that, and still thinking about what can I do to do something helpful later on, because I know people will need help even like for a long time after this, so we can all heal. But just these little changes that I made with the planners I have at home and was not using in a more efficient way for me, those little changes just made me feel more complete and more in a mental state where I can think about the future. I can think about doing something to help others more properly, because these I know it may sound silly, but this just helped me a lot, and now I just feel more wholesome and more prepared to deal with other things. So hopefully you can have that in your life as well. Like, you can take a silly thing, but that will maybe bring you perspective and help you to just feel happier and feel more hope towards what's coming, and even things that will give you strength to still face all the difficulties that I know we are facing, and we will face some more. So that's why I wanted to share this video, and hopefully it can be helpful, or at least like this video can keep you company if you are feeling lonely. As always, I hope you are safe. My DMs are open. Please feel free to message me if you just feel like talking and you do not have anyone better than me to talk. But that's the little I can do right now, is just open my DMs and be there if you need to message, if you just want to talk about planners, about books, or just if you want to talk to a stranger, basically. So I hope you are safe. Thank you so much for watching and for your support, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.